Orlando Pirates beat SuperSport United on penalties to advance to the semi-finals of the Nedbank Cup. But how did they play? We'll look at how they played from the back. We'll look at the mistakes made by Sipho Chine, and we'll look at how they set up defensively from the striker to the defender. And I will say, you will see why I might be a bit worried for Pirates if I was a Pirates fan, because there are certain things that are not quite make sure, and there are factors that we can discuss on another video as to why this is the case. So let's start with the shape. So you have Uchayine with Umbogazi and Umfana Lowagaxogi next to him. So they are trying to invite the press, but as you can see, these guys in SuperSport United, they're not interested. So what ended up happening is Uchayine ends up going long, but it's an easy catch. It does not trouble anyone. And on this case, you have a different dimension because we've talked about the experiment of Umbutiloaga Shandu. When he plays Ushandu, he plays usually as like in that half space. But you see Unkota, he plays wide. His starting position is wide. And also the other thing is because in this case, you also have Undlozi being the one who's going to be the right back in this case. And if it's Van Rooyen, he's the one who makes the runs out wide. And that's why Ushandu then inverts into playing in that half space. So with Unkota playing wide, he can take on players and he can make runs in behind and tries to play those cutbacks. But in this case, it just was not happening. And you also have that combination of Unkota and Mahopa, which is one thing that if I was a Pirates fan, I would be excited about, because I saw some few touches and few passes between the two of them that made me go, that could actually be dangerous. You see this? You have Mahopa plays the ball up and then he plays it through for Unkota. And if they continue playing like this, that combination might get dangerous pretty soon. And then there was that other thing where Umako is a defender, a left back. He usually stays back. But there was this one time where he burst down the field and then started running, and then he got to the ball. And when he cut the ball back, then Hot was there to try and shoot. Because one thing that Pirates have been struggling with is dealing with counters. And usually now they just keep Umako at the back and let the rest of the guys attack. Because now you will see that teams are sitting so deep when they're playing against Pirates that even Umakaula ends up moving further up the field. So then you'll just have two defenders remaining at the back. So now they're trying to keep Umako at the back, but then in rare cases like that one that I just showed you, he then moves forward. So again, with this chance, can you tell me on the comments, do you think this pass was intentional? Because it's such a beautiful pass, but Unkota crosses it and then Hoto tries to kick it, he miskicks it, but it makes its way to Mahopa, and then it's a goal. This is good, by the way, because this shows Uguti Nai, as much as he's usually criticized for not being like Umabasa, who always finishes off his chances. No, I'm lying. He doesn't always finish off his chances, but is known to be much more lethal than Umahopa. So for Umahopa to anticipate in the back post and be the one to finish off that chance, I think that is a very, very good thing. So if we continue then with the same thing of how Pirates are attacking in this game, you will also see that Umahopa was also involved in creating the space for Mfukeng, because Mfukeng in this game was playing as a 10, and you'd have Mahopa dropping even deeper into midfield. And in that way, he's also making the centre backs think, hey, do we press him or do we not press him? So as it drops, Ahmad defenders are thinking about him, there's no one here at the back, so we can push the line up. But Mfukeng is there lacking and is ready to say, hey guys, I see you are looking at Mahopa, I'm here. And then he gets the ball. But then Mahopa, this is the problem that people might have with him. You see the space, that huge space. Umabasa sees that space and he runs into it. But Mahopa is casually jogging into that space. He doesn't get there. Nkota fails to finish off the chance and then it's out. So the other thing about Mahopa is that his work rate is very high. He might have his own mistakes, but his work rate is very high. Like in this situation, we're just talking about him dropping into midfield. You have him there dropping. You see the defenders. They are now coming towards him. And basically there is a space behind them. Now everyone is just sprinting and forcing team SuperSport United to defend facing their own goal. And once again, you see in this situation, Guti, you have what am I talking about? I wanna say this. Pirates have started this experiment. Let me talk to the camera. there is this experiment of having these players here. You see on the right hand side, Uguti, there is literally one player, which is Van Rooyen. And Uma Hopper here, let's finish this move, and then we'll see what I'm talking about. So once this move is finished, you see something. You see Mfukeng is on the left, you see Hoto is on the left, and then you see Ugutubanloya, Utito Maswanga is also on the left, Sima Hopper is also on the left. They are basically overloading this left-hand side and trying to overload Mobi and create chances from here. And we talked about this when they were playing against Sundowns. They overloaded the right-hand side, but they were leaving Van Rooyen all on his own on the right-hand side. So if Sundowns switches the ball to that side, he's in trouble. And in this case, SuperSport United were not aware of this thing and they were not attacking that side, because most of the time when Tito comes in, he usually drifts into midfield, and then since they are making Urele a 10 now, he's also going to be in midfield, and then Hoto is going to be holding width to basically stretch the defense towards the left hand side. But you can see, even when they lose the ball, they are now hunting. It's a 4v2 against a SuperSport player who then has to play the ball long, because, I mean, what else can you do in that situation? So this is really what I'm talking about, that when Tito comes in, it's let's overload one side and try to see what happens. Now let's look at the defense. So it defends a Pirate in terms of their pressing. They had different ways of pressing. So when they were pressing aggressively in this sort of a 4-1-4-1 shape, they were able to like rush SuperSport to try and play the ball faster. Or sometimes it was a 4-2-4. So you have Vurele chasing down the defender, winning the ball back, and then Mahopa being indecisive in this case and failing to just take a shot off. But when they were passive in their press, you can see that they are just joking and some people are tracking back, because the problem they have and the fear they have is that when they jump up too high with SuperSport United can play the ball behind the defense and then punish you. But here the problem is with being passive and not actually applying any pressure, is that then SuperSport does this thing. Look at this. They're just moving the ball around, and then only one person is running after a player. The rest are just moving. And this is Pirates playing against SuperSport. And book, the ball is played through the first line of pressure, then the ball is played through the second line of pressure, in fact, over the second line of pressure, and then they get the ball, they're in behind. If it was a better striker, he scores that, but Tige, he's not. And this is another situation here when they were helping each other. Umbata helping Undlozi, obviously, the young boy coming in from development. It was good to see. But this is worrying. Pirates fails to defend the ball here, and it goes back to Maela. Saile wins the ball. If it's a better player, he plays that ball across. It's at a time. He plays that ball across and then Ukhrobla scores. But no, it's Christian Saile Basomboli. So Pirates are off the hook. But it doesn't end there. Because once again, you have SuperSport just playing the long ball, and then Pirates fails to clear. And then now the ball is won again by SuperSport United from an interception. And now they play Saile. Again, if it's a better player, that's a goal. But it's Saile, obviously. So he misses. If you have not liked the video, subscribed, I don't know what I should do now. Anyways, let's move on to the concerns. Not the concerns, rather the Sipo Chine. So Sipo Chine is a very good goalkeeper. We all know this by now. But in the past few games, man, he's looked shaky. I don't know what has happened to confidence ka Chine. Because here, look, normally Sipo Chine comes out, he doesn't even dive. He goes in there, he catches that ball. But here he tries to punch it and he misses it too. And once again, if it's a better player in that back post, he heads it home and it's a goal for SuperSport. And then the goal for SuperSport United, the first goal, he comes out, completely misses the ball, and then Chukamanja scores the score. And then once again, he lacks assurance these days, which is something that we never say about China. He gets the ball, you see, he wants to pass, but then he hesitates for that second. And in him hesitating, the striker is now closer to him. And now he passes the bad ball into trying to find Makaula. And again, SuperSport do not punish Orlando Pirates. By the way, this is what makes the best teams really good. Because when you do that against the best of teams, they destroy you. SuperSport got enough chances to head Pirates, but they did not do that. But we're not done with China, because once again, you have this situation whereby he's right there behind the defender. The normal China shouts, catches the ball, but it doesn't do that. And it could have easily led to another goal. We move on to another one. China in this case, the normal China that we know, when the ball is shot to him at that point, it's either he punches the ball over or he catches it. But he punches the ball back into the field, which is something that you never do, and it's something that he would never do if he still had his confidence. So I hope that this issue for him gets resolved. As a Chiefs fan, I couldn't care less. But as a player who's also playing for the national team, I need him to be on his best form, just not against Chiefs. But what did you guys make of this game of SuperSport in Orlando Pirates? What made you happy? And what worries you about your team? Do let me know down in the comment section below, even if you're not a Pirates fan. And remember to subscribe and check out this video that I made of Kaizer Chiefs playing against Stellenbosch United. Thank you so much. Stellenbosch United, Stellenbosch Football Club right here. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals. Nezwak. Just forget I say that. And I'm not even gonna edit it out. I've been doing this thing since 10 in the morning, since 8 in the morning. So I've been doing this for 8 hours. So I'm tired. I need to rest. Bye bye. Subscribe button.